Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So I'm back with another one of these inspired by Dina videos that I've really enjoyed actually. I've enjoyed making the first three and I kind of couldn't wait to get back to it. It's just been quite busy. So here I am Sunday afternoon and we're going to get right into it. So I'm on Collage Collective 2 Volume 1 and I am quite inspired by these circles and like how to use the circles. So I thought for this video I'll do how to use the circles, and then another video I'm gonna have to do how to use the postcards, and in another video I am going to how to use the washi strip. This like scares me because I don't know how I do it. I don't really use them. I just look at them and go, I don't know what to do with that. Move along. But I will do one and hopefully it'll work out all right. Or not. We'll see how we go. And in another video we'll do the tags. All right. So today's video I am focusing on what to do with the circles. So the first thing I'm going to do is rip the page out. And the sucky thing about double-sided paper, and you know, this is for anyone who loves paper that's double-sided, you can never use, you have to choose whether it's this one or this one. Now the lucky thing is you have a second print like this in the cardstock in the back here. But yeah, so the first thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut all these out. And then I'll come back. Oh, actually, also what I'll do is I'll gesso my page. So this is the Dina Wakley Black Journal edition. I'm going to gesso my page, cut these out, and then we are going to make some kind of page. Okay, so here we go. I am just going to do some marvelous fussy cutting, and this is on times 800. So we're just going to get through these now. I've already pre-gessoed my both my pages, my layout, and dried it. And I'm now going to start organizing these circles. What I end up doing is I go for the circles that have people in them, all except for the one in the bottom right hand, which kind of gives me an idea, and it says swirly thoughts. It's got a whole lot of other things that I can't make out, but at the end it says swirly thoughts. So I thought, okay, I got you. I see where I'm going with this. So I'm now moving on to color scheme, and Dina Wakley on the Ranger page has a whole lot of color combinations that go good together. So I've got a palette here. So the blackberry and cheddar, this is so beautiful. So yellow and purple are complementary colors. So this is the science that we already know, so why reinvent the wheel? And purple is one of my colors, my favorite colors for sure. Yellow I've not been too familiar with lately, but I've started using it, and gosh, I love yellow. It's such a bright, happy color, and I should start using more yellow. So, but yellow and purple are just beautiful, and I am feeling really energetic because the colors are so vibrant, and you know, purple is my favorite color. So I'm kind of like pre-wetting the page, letting the colors flow, definitely wetting the edges and blurring the edges so you don't have that hard line. The right page has the deeper color, and then I'm taking a little bit of paint and splashing it on the left hand side just so that they mirror each other and they complement each other, like both sides kind of have the same colors. Then I'm flipping over the book, and I'm using this combination of aloe and carnation, again from the Ranger site, from Dina Wakley's recommendation. I don't have aloe. It's one of the colors I am yet to order. So I have like a green, a really light green. I decided not to use the carnation just yet because the blackberry is already really faint and it looks like a really light pink. So I don't use the carnation here. I do use it in a little while. So the next thing I do is reach for a focal image, and I'm reaching for these cathedral images that are collage papers from Dina Wakley's collection. So that's going to be my main focal image in the middle, and then I'm going to go around the cathedral window with the circles that I pre-cut. I'm now looking through some of the collage papers and getting some words in, or quotes in, or sentiments. And I quickly tap into something inside me that I've been thinking about recently. And because I enjoy color and creativity, and this is really a little bit of self-care, I start feeling something. I start thinking about what I'm doing, who I am, and this came together, and I was quite surprised, really delighted that I could express myself like this artistically as well as emotionally. So some of the words I chose were be the light. I work in dementia, and it's sometimes a lonely, dark place. I work in an aged care home, and it's sometimes a lonely, dark place. So I always aim to be the light. Be peace. And once again, I work in an industry that is fraught with a lot of complications and sadness and hard times. So I try to keep peace in my heart, in my thoughts, in my work. So peace is really important to me. Be the answer. A lot of times family members come to me with questions and concerns. Residents come to me with problems and fears. So I try to be the answer that they want. I try to be the help that they need. And lastly, this one sentiment, create the world you want. And ever since I became a professional carer, I've been a carer, I think, all my life. I've lived with my grandmother. And when my grandmother passed away, I looked after a neighbor in my neighborhood for 15 years after that. So I've always been an advocate for aged care, and I want to create a world that's different to the current world in aged care. I am very aware of the problems that exist in aged care at the moment. If some of you don't know, if you're not living in Australia, there is a royal commission in the aged care industry due to some things that have been happening. And there's going to be an overhaul, I hope. Also, a lot of people are bringing up problems, like things aren't as taboo as they used to be, and a lot of people are experiencing problems. So I want to create a world that I want to live in, that I want to grow old in, that I want my parents to grow old in. So I loved that quote, create the world you want. I want to be a part of that. I want to help drive it. I want to help see it come to fruition. I want to live in it. I want to be a part of it. I want it all. So just quickly back to the art here. I've got my Stabilo All, and I'm just going around each of the circles. And Stabilo All is water soluble, so I've got a wet brush there and I'm activating it. And I sort of like what I'm doing, but then I don't like it. I'm trying to blur the edges so it's not so bold. And I'm happy and then I'm not happy. I like it and then I don't like it, and then I add more black and then I take it away. So I come in here with some of the carnation and just blur away some of the hard edges. And I think that makes it look a little bit better. But then I do have a little bit of sort of like a, what's the word here? Just like a disparity in the colors. So I go back in with a little bit of green here at the top. And then I go back in with the yellow on the right. And I realized here that I used yellow, the lemon, and earlier I used cheddar. So I just realized there now that I'm watching it, but that's okay. It's interesting to see that the cheddar has a little bit of orange in it. And then I'm just going in and just putting a little bit of black around the words. So here I feel like it's too clean, and I'm just going to put a little bit of color and pattern through a stencil. So I'm using tone on tone, so wherever there's green paint, I use the green stencil, green through the stencil, and wherever there's pink, I use pink through the stencil, and I try to make it match so that the same pattern exists on both pages. And now I really like how it looks. It looks more integrated. There are some areas in the page that are a little bit like just plain, so I come in here with a little bit of stamping. I used normal ink first, and I didn't like that. It's too light, so I went back in with StazOn. And then I have a script stamp, and I quite like how the background comes together here. Really nice. So lastly, this is where I'm journaling my thoughts, who I am, what I can offer. I did a personality test, and I found out that my 5 strengths are kindness, love, spirituality, creativity, and love of learning. And that's not a shock to me. I sort of knew those already. I think you might too. And then here are some of the qualities that I ascribe to. So I want to advocate. I want to advocate for the vulnerable, for those who don't have a voice. I want to stand up for what's right. I don't want to shrink away from threats or pain or opposition. I want to shift perspective in those who are stuck in negative thoughts. Always think of the positive. And I want to give them wisdom, and I want to heal. I want to have personal development to be the best that I can possibly be, so I can give the best care that I can give at work. I want to inspire. I want to empower. I want to heal. And most of all, I'm a carer. I care. I care for my husband, for my children, for my parents, for my animals, for this world. I care. I'm using the Elegant Writer, which is a beautiful pen. Has a lovely nib on it. And lastly, I'm doing a little bit of arty splatter with some white gesso. And I think it ties the piece really nicely. Lastly, I'm looking at this cathedral window, and I'm thinking, if I'm going to be the light, where's the light? So I put a little bit of yellow crayon in there. And then I brought in some of my stickles, a little bit of glitter, so it shines through. And I touched the glitter to each of the circles, because I want the light to touch each of these areas. You know, whenever I inspire, I want to leave a little bit of me in there. When I heal, I want to leave a little bit of me in there. When I motivate, I want to leave a little bit of me there. And when I empower, once again, I want a little bit of me there. Lastly, I'm using a Pico embellisher. I love these little things. It's like a very thin needle point, kind of 3D paint that you can embellish with, I guess. I think this is a copper color. And I go around the circles, giving them a little bit of definition, a little bit of dimension. And with that, this page has come together, and it leaves me really clear on who I am and what I want and my purpose in my life. I now just need to find the courage to take it one step further from talking about it to actually making the change that's big in my life. So I'm hoping that 2021 is my year for change, my year for growth, my year for something big and wonderful. And I hope you guys join me for the journey. So thank you so much for joining me, everybody, and I will see you in my next video.